Welcome to Mr. Podcast with Claude.
And Justin.
We're back with our usual timely monthly podcast that we've done flawlessly without fail for the last 30 years. Hi,
You
Justin.
can
How's it
count on
going?
us. Hey, not bad, not bad. Never better. How's it going in Cloudlands?
Hey, you know what? Just podcasting up a storm. Just every day is a new podcast. That's what my life is about.
Podcast is life. That's our
Hey,
motto.
that's what my t-shirt says. Yeah, so let's see. Our last podcast was earlier this year about Sinners, the big movie everybody loved. Most people
Yep.
loved.
Yeah, it was the non-franchise uh winner of 2025, I
That's
think.
right. That's right. And we'll get into this later in the podcast, but it just dawned on me that there weren't any other good like horror movies this year, at least that I saw. In particular around Halloween, I didn't really see any big, interesting Halloween movies. But
Good horror
um,
movies. Yeah, that's a tough
yeah,
one.
horror. Yeah,
That's a tough one. I mean, we had weapons. Did you want
we had
something
weapons.
else?
Well, I did say good. It was definitely interesting. I'll give it to you, but we'll get back to that. So, Justin, I hear we
Sure.
have good news and I hear we have bad news.
We sure do.
Yeah.
Remind me what the good news is.
Well, why don't you remind us what the bad news is?
Okay. All right. So the bad news is that
It's
after
not that bad. It's just news.
it's news. I mean,
Neutral news.
you can, yeah, like nothing's really changing except for the following, uh, which is which is that after careful deliberation and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
many rounds of negotiation,
Mm-hmm.
we've
Mm-hmm.
come to a final settlement, and we have we have agreed to close down our Patreon. We
What?
it's the contributions have dwindled a bit, and I think both of us, for various reasons, have had less time to pour
Mm-hmm.
into it. So I think just for the members and my own sanity, not keeping up with the
Mm-hmm.
turning off the paid thing every month. Like, you can't just turn it off.
Yeah.
If I could just turn it off and keep it free, I would, but I can't. So
Yeah.
because they want that money to be coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
so anyway, yeah, at the end of the year 2025, just so you know what year I mean, we'll shut down the Patreon. So
Mm-hmm.
that, I guess, that's the so-called bad news. So you can tell me
Yeah,
about the good news.
I will. And I want to clarify when you say the contributions have dwindled, I think you mean our contributions as podcasters has dwindled. Not that, we're not bringing in millions of dollars from Patreon, but just
Uh,
we haven't had
oh,
time
yeah. I
to.
meant our contributions. Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We're not ending it because people aren't contributing. We're ending it because we're the people who aren't contributing.
Indeed, indeed. Yeah, like, to me, it's just a repository for stuff. If I was producing things, then, like, if there's two of you on there, I don't care. I would happily
Hmm.
continue. It's just, if I'm not posting anything, I don't want to rip
Yeah.
people off. So,
Yeah, I will say, Justin, as the person who's handled the lion's share of managing all of this stuff the last few years, he has had a lot of anxiety about the fact that people are subscribed to a service and they're not getting what they've been promised.
yeah.
Yeah, no, we definitely know that when we started the Patreon, we had higher hopes for how often we'd be able to post and the kind of stuff we would cover. And life changes happen. I mean, when you've been podcasting for several decades, life is
Which
bound
we
to.
have, haven't we?
we
Oh my
have we
God.
have We're not
Wow.
baby podcasters anymore. We're middle-aged podcasters, I think, at
Oh
this
my
point.
God. Oh my God. Yeah, we're
So
coming up on
yeah,
the 20
so
year anniversary here in May.
yeah,
So
yeah.
wow.
Well, hey, maybe we should start a new Patreon when that.
Oh God, no.
I can't think of one reason why not. So listen, the good news is that we will still be around. We'll still be talking about stuff and recording it and posting it online,
Yeah, we're
aka
not disbanding or
podcasting.
anything. There hasn't
Yeah.
been like some kind of acrimonious breakup in the background.
No.
Like it's fine. We're all fine. It's
Yeah.
just yeah, the idea of having it sort of suggests a regular output that we can't really commit to. So
Yeah.
we'll just put out stuff when we can. And so it'll happen because I think we both enjoy doing the podcast thing and
Yeah.
so, I want to continue doing it. Jack of Jockeys, I'm planning to do that for the final season. So that'll
Mm-hmm.
still happen. And I don't know, maybe we could talk about From whenever that comes back at least once.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
and if not the whole season, because yeah, I don't know. After last time, I'm a little wary of that.
Yeah.
But anyway, um,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of other stuff out there that's interesting and worth talking about. So yeah, whenever that comes up, then we can just be free to pop in and do it. It's kind of
Well,
like the place we were in between the end of Lost Lowdown and when we started the Patreon,
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
more or
So here's a
less.
question: where can they find the new stuff we'll post, Justin?
Good question. So, for now, it's in the same old places on the Last Slowdown. And well, I don't know if we're doing any more Last Slowdown, but anyway, Mr. Podcast mainly, and then Jack of Jockeys as well. But I am planning to move those off of Podbean and make them YouTube only. So I think going forward, probably the best place to find our stuff would be on YouTube. There's a Mr. Podcast there. There's a Lost Lowdown there. There's Jack of Jockeys there, and there's also a Claude and Justin there. Although I don't think that actually has anything on it right now, but it's
Right.
available, and someday maybe we'll put something there. But yeah, we also have accounts on so-called X and so-called Blue Sky as well.
Mm-hmm.
So things would be announced there. So you can check like when we post something. I always say that we have that, but you can also subscribe on YouTube to those things. If you just type it in the search, you should be able to find it. So yeah, that's the way I think going forward.
Well, that's what we legally agreed on in our binding arbitration.
I use the appropriate legal terminology, and I hope you're not going to sue me.
Well, listen, I'm just calling my lawyer as we speak for breach of contract.
Damn it.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, we didn't know we were building a podcast empire when we started this, but we did, and I want all the money I'm owed. Okay, that's all I'll say. I'm that guy from the Facebook movie whose name you don't remember,
Oh
but
yeah.
he gets money too.
Oh yeah. You're talking about wait, are you talking about the
There's a
twins?
couple.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield's character.
Oh, you're talking about Andrew Garfield. Okay.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
there was also that other guy, what's his name, who played twins.
The Winklevoss twins. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, you could be either one of those or all three.
So let's see. Next on our list of topics. So listen, let's before we kind of move on, of course, the question on everybody's mind, I can hear it through the interwebs, is where is the Lost Lowdown book that everyone promised
The
was
what?
gonna happen? Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, Justin. So where's that book that we were talking about all that time?
Oh,
Where
man,
that book?
hold on.
Where that
It's
book
in
at?
here. Wait, let me
Can,
look.
Find it. Can you find it real quick? Go to ChatGPT and say, please quickly create a Claude and Justin LLD book.
I'm flipping through
And
books here.
hey, those are pages of books. I know what a book sounds like.
um, yeah. All right. Yeah. About that.
Hmm.
So I will say from you could say I'll say for my part I'll say that I still have interest in the book. I still think it's like something I would like to do. I don't know if it's going to be something I do in my retirement at this point, but anyway, it's it's starting to look that way. Anyway, I did do I have done one whole chapter on the cabin, and I've done
Nice.
about three-quarters of a chapter on the loophole. And the cabin chapter is available. I have I made a Substack, and it's called oh God, what is it called? Let me remind myself what I called it. Oh, I gotta sign in. All right, stand by, everybody.
And we're
Come up
waiting.
come up with a good topic. I'm gonna get my email code here. Okay, force. Wait, should I announce that? Okay.
Here's the
I mean,
topic. AI is neither A nor I.
okay. Oh, here it is. It's what Justin said. That's my
Why didn't
Substack.
you here? Listen, that's a good name, but I love a good pun. So then your next steps actually be called "This Just In."
This just in. Yeah, 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 yeah. Of course. Of course.
There you go.
I have an aversion to puns on my name from growing up, so I would never do that.
Okay, I
Because I
gotcha.
got puns on my first name, I got puns on my last name. It's too
Mm-hmm.
much. I hated it,
Mm-hmm.
so I steer away from it. However, for another Justin who's out there, please use that because obviously it's great if you're into puns on your name.
Yeah, yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I put some stuff that I posted on Patreon too. Like I did a very, very detailed breakdown of Dark season 3. So I posted that
Mm-hmm.
on there because I didn't want to lose that. I put a lot of time into that. And also I posted a couple things about TV, Severance and Silo. I haven't posted since May because for the same reason I haven't podcasted since May, which I haven't done shit. Uh, but um, but nonetheless, going forward, I do plan to put stuff there, and I want to just finish my loophole chapter because it's actually close, and I just need to push it over the finish line. It's a harder one to write because like it's a little bit ambiguous what counts as part of the loophole, as opposed to like cabin, like it's not so ambiguous whether it's cabin or not. So
Yeah. That's the
that was
quantum nature of Lost is it works when the energy is a wave, but then you want to define it into a particle. All of a
yeah.
sudden, you're like, "Where that electron at?" And if you know anything about physics, you'll understand that joke.
And I know so much that I don't understand it actually.
That's what
Um,
happens with knowledge. It's the uncanny valley. Yep. You know too much.
I know too much. Oh, and while we're doing plugs, I seriously doubt this interests anyone listening to this.
Were we
Uh,
doing plugs?
aren't we doing plugs? Isn't it
What
plug
what
time?
what were we plugging? What do you mean? What were we
Well, I just
plugging?
plugged my Substack and I plugged our
Oh,
YouTube and our
oh, okay,
Twitter
okay.
and
That's those are plugs. You're right. I wasn't thinking of
okay.
those plugs, but those are plugs.
Yeah,
Classic
yeah.
plugs.
Classic plugs. Yeah, I just want to plug one more thing, which is
Yeah.
very silly because, like I said, the interest for this is very low, but I have 7 subscribers and they're none of you. So, ha. Anyway, um, I started a YouTube channel called Anti-Algorithm Math. Um,
Oh.
so you can go. I posted a bunch of stuff back in August, and again, for various reasons, I haven't done shit since then. But
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But basically, I'm going through like some advanced math stuff. There's a lot of math stuff on YouTube, but I find it to be a bit underwhelming. It's like a lot of like, do this integral or whatever. And so, yeah, I went through some stuff from grad school, and I had a lot of fun doing it. And there's a nice audience of 7 who enjoyed it. So
Nice.
anyway. Anyway, if you're into like graduate math, go check that out. I do have like ideas for more stuff I want to post there. That's just a fun project for me. So that's my other plug.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, listen, I left my plugs at home. I didn't know
Hey,
we
you're
were
not plugging
plugging.
nothing?
I didn't know we were. I left my plugs at home, man.
Okay.
I listen. So I want to say, in my defense, Your Honor, audience,
Why you gotta defend yourself?
well, that's how
Answer the
you started.
question.
That's how you started it. You're like, listen, there's fault to go around here. Let me tell you about mine. Okay, so listen, I'm right now. I'm in our Lost Lowdown, specifically our Lost Book Google Drive folder,
Oh
and I
yeah.
just want to let the audience know, like, one of the first documents in there for the Lost Book is from November 7th, 2015. So I just want to let everybody know that we had 10 years to write a book and we didn't do it. So I don't know if you should feel bad for us or be mad at us. But we've been clearly procrastinating on this for a long time. Listen, we did do a lot of work on it. There's a lot of ideas. There's also many documents. There's just not a book yet. And
Right.
I also don't want to give up hope that a book will come to fruition at some point.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
for my part, like Lost is the um, center point around which my analysis of everything else revolves, because I think
Yeah.
it is both like the first thing that I picked apart obsessively, but also it's the first time I realized how insanely frustrating things like that can be. And I
Mm-hmm.
think whenever a show frustrates me, there's always a lost reference to compare that frustration to. Like
Yeah.
every time. And I'll never really be over it, I think. Like getting so invested in a certain
Mm-hmm.
thing and then like realizing like either the show doesn't care about it or they've just changed their mind about what it's about and now it doesn't hold any interest for me anymore. Like just going through
Mm-hmm.
that is such a frustrating thing. And as much as I like the show because it was like life changing for me, and I do think like it has a lot of good about it, but I
You
think
met your wife because of Lost.
that's that's definitely not true.
Oh, okay. Okay. I just threw that out there just to see. You said it was life changing. I just assumed it was that. Okay. My bad.
Life changing in a more
a less
psychological, spiritual sense.
a less marriage way. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, yes. It didn't really influence any marriages that I know of, but
Not like Jacob touching Sun and Jin at their wedding,
oh
huh?
God. Oh
Yeah.
God. Oh God. And I still think, yeah, I don't know. I'm still holding out hope that like someday there will be like a tell-all book, or they'll release they'll release all the scripts and or the writers room documents, or
Mm-hmm.
I'll finally make that trek to LA and go to the Writers Guild Museum and look at the scripts that they have there and see what I
Mm-hmm.
can pull out of that, because online, your ability is limited. And I
Yeah.
just, it's like I can live with like, okay, like the cabin like just degenerated into something that's like utter nonsense, but I just want to know why. Like
Yeah.
like I know there's a reason. and
Entropy.
and and like, the way the way they would talk about things at the time, you know, and I've gone back from the book and I've combed through all the official podcasts and listened to how they talk about stuff back then, and it was so like they were so like jokey and cagey about everything, and like they would never
Mm-hmm.
admit. They
Mm-hmm.
would never admit, "Oh yeah, we fucked up. Oh yeah, we forgot what that was," or "Oh yeah, we just changed our mind and we wanted that to be something different," or "We didn't like that idea anymore, it didn't interest us, so we kind of dropped it." Like they would never admit to anything like that, even though
Yeah.
I'm 100% sure that that stuff happened.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's like a public facing version of them that just cannot countenance the idea that everything they did was exactly what they wanted it to be, you know? And like
Mm-hmm.
they're happy with everything, you know? I remember Jeremy Bentham, you
Yeah.
know, when that came out and it was like, well, Jack said at the end of season 4 that Locke said all this stuff and then he didn't say none of it. And they were just like, we're really proud of the episode. We stand by it. And it's like, okay.
Yeah. Yep. Well,
Like,
and you know, it's to be expected, right? Because no art is perfect, you know. No
indeed.
artist is like, oh, look at that masterpiece I just created, you know. Like they're gonna see their flaws, but it's to your point, it's the man behind the curtain. Sorry
Yeah.
to use their phrase, but like it's that thing of like they know
They
what
make it
they
up.
know. I know, I know. Uh, uh, you know, but it's like they know what they know, but they also have a persona and a way
Yeah.
they have to present what they did and what the audience is experiencing, and there's a dance there. There's a delicate balance,
Yeah.
not unlike a tango.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Totally.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's like behind the scenes stuff that's just like confidentiality, like they don't necessarily want to share certain things, maybe deals with the actors or deals with, you know, whatever practical
Hmm.
things about the production that like just would be improper to reveal to the public. You know, I get that. Like it's a
Yeah,
business. You don't want to like make people look bad or whatever.
yeah, exactly.
So like some of that I understand, you know, and yeah, like if the cabin was like whoever's idea, like yeah, we didn't like it
Hmm.
after season
Well,
4 or whatever.
I was just gonna say, you know, before the podcast, we were talking about like AI stuff and you know AI in the world and all that stuff, and I was just thinking, you know, like we could, not that we would do this, but like technically it's possible, you know, because you already use some service to transcribe all the Lost Lowdown podcasts into text documents. So it's possible that we could feed that into AI and make AI write the book. And to be like, AI, what did we think of Lost? You know, and listen, something would spit out. I don't know what it would say,
It
but
would spit
something
out
would spit
something.
out. Something would come, and we have some kind of idea about at least what that LLM thought about what we said.
Yeah.
So that's something. But we'll let you know if we ever come up with AI with a Lost Lowdown book. We'll let you know if it's AI created.
We certainly will. Though you
Yeah.
can probably tell when it starts going, step 1, solve
Yeah.
loss. Step 2, end the book.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Conclusion, Lost was a good show. It loves
What a
writing shit like
brilliant, yeah, what a brilliant idea for a book. Why don't we unpack this in the following ways?
M
Uh,
dash, M dash.
yeah. So yeah, you know, I think this is a good time to thank all the patrons. First of all, you know, not obviously the people who are patrons. So many of you were people who have been listeners, you
From
know,
the old
for
days.
decades from before.
Yeah.
And the old at this point, it's old days.
Very, very
Um,
old days. Yeah.
yeah. So we do want to thank you guys for being around for so long, you know, and supporting the podcast, supporting us through all the talking. And, you know, I just want to say in a completely novel way that this is the place we made together. Um,
Oh God.
And
It
and
all
we
comes back to that little bit we did at the end of the
yeah,
original Round of Lost Lowdown,
that's
which
it.
I will be proud of for the rest of my life. I think that thing's
Yeah.
great.
Listen, if we ever did anything genius in the Lost Lowdown days, that was it.
Yeah.
We it was talk about insisting upon itself. It was a perfect ending. So
If we
I
had
think
ended
I
the
think
podcast there, it would have been beautiful in a way.
we that's the place to end it. But because we didn't end it there, we can never end it.
You're right,
So
exactly.
I'm just gonna say that this isn't over. You're not done with us yet. Um, at any point, we'll have an epiphany about Lost, and we'll want to
Yep.
podcast about it.
Yep.
But besides that, well, like we said, we'll still be doing Claude and Justin stuff and Mr. Podcast stuff, and that can be at the find at all the places that Justin mentioned. But do you wanna talk about you wanna highlight some people to thank? A lot of people have been
Yes. Yeah. So I want to um yeah, I want to specifically thank Dan Shed, who left a lot of comments
nice.
um about our Jacket Jockey stuff, um going through the rough ride that was season 3. Um and Chris Vincent from the old days,
Mm-hmm.
who also commented about some of our interstitial podcasts. We did one on Oleana, and we did one on Sleepaway Camp. Um, so you can check those out if you haven't.
Check them out quick.
And yeah, I know, right? No. They're on Jacket Jockeys. You can get them there. Don't worry. They're not disappearing. Stephen Mangum. I'm not sure how to
Mangum,
say
please.
that.
I'm
Is
sure. I
it
don't know.
Mangum? Okay.
Yeah, that's how
Yeah,
I've always said it for the last 20 years that I've known his
okay.
name. Good old
Yeah,
Steve.
yeah. That sounds about right. So yeah, that was good. And then yeah, hold on, let me look at the chat here because there was some specific people I wanted to bring up. Yeah, so uh let's see. Yeah. James Lattimore, I have to thank for recommending Yellow Jackets, which led to the
Nice. That's right.
podcast.
That's right.
Um, so that was a big deal for me. And then Blake, it looks like Blake recommended Severance, which I've
Mm-hmm.
enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly. I have
Mm-hmm.
reservations about season 2, but season 1's great.
Yeah.
Um, season 2,
Okay.
um,
Yep.
mixed bag. Um, and then let's see. Who else did I want to? Oh, oh yeah, and also it looks like I think. Hold on. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, Blake also recommended Dark, which I think you have yet to finish, but I finished it. Um,
All right. Throw
and
me under the bus, why don't you?
and well, hey, it's fine. No, I mean, do what you got to. I'm just acknowledging.
Just
Uh,
who? Yeah, teacher. I did the project. I'm just saying. Claude didn't finish his.
I mean, you tried, right? And you weren't into it. So what are you gonna
Hey, I
do?
tried. I
I
tried.
mean,
Season
I
three.
mean,
It's hey, listen. It's still sitting there. There's like 4 Martas. I just can't wait to
oh
figure
my
out.
god,
I
oh my
can't wait
god.
to figure out who's who.
That is that is the most complicated show that I've ever watched, and at the end, I'm not sure if it's worth it, but I
Yeah, that's
did,
why I
but
haven't
I
finished it.
but I enjoyed the challenge of it. Like
Yeah,
I worked really hard to keep track of what was happening in that show.
yeah.
And if you want a similar challenge, you should check out Tenet by Christopher Nolan. I feel
Hmm.
like those two movie like stories have some things in common in terms of how hard they
Yeah,
are to make sense of with
yeah,
like timey-wimey stuff. Way harder to deal with than Lost. Like not even close.
yeah,
But if you're into, and I am into that kind of thing, I have to admit, I enjoy a challenge.
yeah,
Um, so like on that level, it was super cool, and definitely like there was a lot of intrigue early on. You know, the missing kids, kind of like Stranger Things. You know, like started off with this like really great premise, and
yeah.
the mystery deepened, and it just I don't know. I think it got away from them at a certain point. But I will recommend also if you're into dark, you should check out 1899. I know it was canceled after one season, so it
Yeah,
kind of ends on a big old fat cliffhanger. But you know, if you've ever seen Caprica or
yeah.
John from Cincinnati or whatever, you know, like sometimes a good show can end on a big ass cliffhanger.
Hmm.
Even Twin Peaks, which
Yeah,
you know, since David Lynch has died since the last time we podcasted, you know, is probably over forever. So
that's a strange sentence to digest.
yeah, I know. I know. I think that is actually the end of that whole thing. So that means that is a totally open-ended ending.
Come on,
Uh,
Mark Frost. You can do it by yourself, can't you? Come on, Mark.
Mark!
Mark, finish my opus.
Damn it, Mark!
I was gonna say in the list of the shows you mentioned, and I don't think you've seen this yet, but the OA is very much in
Oh,
that realm
you've been recommending
of
that for a while, and I've
shows.
been meaning to watch it, and I haven't yet.
If you think, yeah, it's definitely in the dark realm in terms of, just being a very well done show, but that is doing something different and is a little bit, it needs your brain. You can't just turn your brain off and watch it. You have to think
Yeah.
about what's happening. So I definitely would recommend that. But yeah, appreciate those recommendations because, Severance has been great. Even if I didn't love season two, but still, still a great show.
It had
Dark
good
was really
moments.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
What was
yeah,
the other one
yeah,
you mentioned?
totally.
What was the third one you mentioned?
Yellow Jackets.
Oh, Yellow Jackets. Listen, I didn't finish the last season. I don't think I will, but it had its moments. I liked a lot about it. I'm glad I started it, but I think it just doesn't have the hook for me to. Because, for me, and not to get into a Yellow Jackets podcast, but to me, the big hook was is it supernatural or not? And by the end of that
Yeah.
last season, I was like, okay, not. So
The
what am
answer
I
I think
still
is
doing?
obviously no, and I felt that way for a long time. And
Yeah.
basically, I just had to decide, like, am I okay with that or not?
Because it's
You
it's you
know?
it's you as we call it Eugene's vaccine, Eugene's cure
Yep,
from The Walking
yep,
Dead. And it's like,
yep,
listen, spoiler alert, you find out Eugene doesn't know there is no cure that he knows about. Do you keep
yeah,
watching the show because you pinned all
yeah,
your hopes on that? Or do
yeah,
you say, wow, I didn't really think there was one, so it's
yeah.
okay, I can keep watching.
Yeah. And I will say that like the season one, I mean season one is probably the best. You know, to be fair, like I think that's true of a lot of shows, so it's not abnormal.
Yep.
Yeah, the intrigue that they had when, you know, it really did seem like there was like a supernatural edge to the show, but that they were like walking up to the line. I think that was cool, and I feel like they're still trying to do that. It's just like the more they don't like actually cross the line, the more I'm like you're not going to. Like
Yeah.
clearly this is the mode of the show. And I feel like it's just healthier for me to understand that than like hoping for a thing that's never going to happen.
Well,
So
yeah.
uh like that's I feel like that's, you know, I wish I got there with Lost earlier. You know, I wish I sort of understood what their priorities were because I think I would have been less
Yeah.
disappointed. I think season three has disappointments that are actually beyond the fact that it's not supernatural.
Mm.
Um I think that's actually more my issue. And then like the flip side of that is like a show like From, or
Mm-hmm.
like what I see is like a vague sort of antecedent, which is like True Blood, where
Mm-hmm.
the show is clearly supernatural. I feel like there's no way the show's not supernatural,
Yep.
but they just keep piling on. You know,
Yes.
it just feels like a never-ending
Then
ball of supernatural stuff.
all of a sudden there's fairies where no
Yeah,
one asks for fairies to be.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And then the weird yellow
Yeah.
coat guy came out and like it's like and Jade was there in his past life with and it's like, okay. Like
Yeah,
what
Jade.
are
What
you
was it?
doing?
Jade and Tab were married in their past life. Was
Yeah.
that where we got to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where we
Spoiler
got
alert.
to.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Indeed. So yeah, it's like I feel like that's the flip side of it. And so like I'm not 100% convinced that I really want Yellow Jackets to be super like I'm kind of okay that it's not. I just kind of I guess yeah, it's like I feel like the struggle that show is having is kind of the predestination paradox. That's not the right word. The predestination trap. It's the flash forward trap. It's basically the season 4 of Lost problem that there's
Hmm.
a defined endpoint for at least for the past stuff, you
Yeah.
know? And
Wait,
uh
you're talking about Yellow Jackets?
yeah, I'm talking about Yellow Jackets.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because we know they get rescued, right? There's
Yep. Yep.
that's not negotiable. They get
No.
rescued. And we know who gets rescued. They can keep like throwing in new people and they do cuz like that's how they're trying to keep it in. Oh yeah, and this person survived too. Like, okay. Okay, what famous person did you cast this season to play the latest survivor? Like it just gets
Oh, that. Okay.
yeah, yeah, it gets a bit old after a while, that game, and that's how
Yeah.
they try to like keep it less predictable that we know. But it's like, but when they show that person, right? Just like
Yeah.
with the flash forwards, it's
Yeah.
like, okay, well, that person gets off the island. That person gets out of the wilderness and definitely will survive. Anything that happens with that character, can't lead to anything too serious because they're gonna
They
be
have to
alive
survive.
later.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I feel like and it's a Better Call Saul trap too, I think, where it's like as the show goes on, it approaches something more familiar and the possibilities shrink.
Yes.
And so it's like it's this strange thing where it gets less interesting over time, which isn't really what you normally want in a
No,
show.
because it has that reverse perspective. So it
Yeah.
naturally has to get less interesting as we go towards the thing we already know. Versus most stories go towards the thing you don't know. You don't know the
Yeah.
ending or the end point. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. I find that it's one of those things. The same way we always talk about these kinds of techniques in storytelling. Like a flash forward at the beginning of a movie, and
Yep.
what did you
Yep.
benefit out of doing that versus what detracts from that. And it's the same thing with this kind of plot where the kind of dual timeline storytelling where there's a lot of cool stuff you get out of doing that, but then there's some handcuffs that you get put on that trap you in a way, and as the story keeps going, you know, the cuffs get tighter if I do
Yeah.
the analogy correctly.
I think that makes
Um,
sense. Yeah. Yeah.
but so real quick, let's just shout out to the patrons. Since I found my list here, no particular order except the order that you joined. Shout out to Chris Vincent, long time listener and supporter. Blake, long time. Nathan, we got
Oh yeah, Nathan.
Steven.
Yeah.
Yeah, Steven, long time. Lucy, Rodriguez. A lot of
Yep.
these people have been around for, pre Patreon. James Lattimore, as you mentioned.
Yep.
Joel Stryker, Stryk. Oh, sorry,
Yep.
Stryk. Strike.
Strick? Strike?
Strick.
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay, I was just gonna say it's a cool name. I was thinking Striker, but Strick.
Yeah.
Cool
Hard to
name.
say. Let us know.
David, long time. Jerry,
David
long
Graham's been
time.
around
Vic.
forever.
David Graham, I feel like, I'm trying to think of a joke about how long he's been around, but been around so long, I don't have a good joke for it. Like Dan, as you mentioned, Ryan King, Caroline, Sean
Oh, don't
C.
forget Jerry.
I thought I said Jerry. I'm sorry. Jerry, of course, Jerry's been
Jerry
around
from
for a
the Lost
long
Lowdown
time.
days.
Jerry, not only from Lost Lowdown days, but you remember Jerry wrote us, if I'm not mistaken, and told us that she's been listening to us for so long that her daughter started
Yes.
listening to the podcast.
Yes. Yes.
So multi-generational podcast here. That was always
Yes.
one of the coolest things. We've got Lynn, of course, music by Lynn.
Oh
Took you a
yeah,
long
yeah. Lynn from
time.
the also from the Lost Lowdown days.
Forever Days. Mitch, long time.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We've got another Chris. I don't know which Chris this is. I can't tell
Yeah,
by
I
the
think it's a
email.
different Chris. It
Is it a
looks like
different
it's a
Chris?
British Chris because it's in pounds.
Oh, a British Chris from across the pond. Well,
Yeah.
cheerio.
Cheerio indeed.
And Mary, and so many others. Um, but yeah, seriously, thank you guys for supporting
Yeah.
us. Thank you guys for listening and commenting and suggesting and let's be real here. Life is hard, which is why there's TV and movies. And I
Indeed.
do really appreciate being able to connect on this stuff, especially just us just being two people talking about random stuff. But it's always been nice to have this venue to connect and talk about these ideas and hear what you guys think. And so I think that's why we'll never, listen, the podcast will go on even if it's just in all our hearts. So even though we're kind of at this point where we're sort of walking through the proverbial church doors, as you will, and going on to the next thing that's to be determined exactly what it looks like. We know we'll be together, and that's what matters.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Exactly.
Listen, that was very eloquent, and AI didn't even write that. So
Hey, AI has not written most eloquent things, I dare say.
give it time. Give it time. Yeah, actually, don't give it time. Hopefully, but if you give
Yeah,
it time, it
let's
will. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I think we unless you have something else to say about that, we went through the big things, the Patreon ending, thanking everybody, finding us on YouTube and the other places, the
Yep.
Lost Down book. So now it's just free time for us to talk about. Justin and I haven't talked in a little bit, so there's some stuff he's been watching. There's some stuff
Oh,
I've been watching. Let's talk
oh,
about what we've been respectively watching.
what have you been watching? Do you do you want to start or
Sure, I'll start.
okay.
I'll start with something I think pretty straightforward. Listen, so there's a new movie out. That's
Yeah.
actually an old movie put together. Two old movies put together.
Ah, yes, right.
It's called
Yes.
Kill Bill: The Whole Bloody Affair.
I heard about that. Yeah,
And
that's been like teased for like 20 years at this point.
yeah, if I'm not mistaken, he bought the New Beverly Cinema in L.A. years and years ago, and
Yep.
I believe he made this cut of the film to premiere there a long time ago. But
Ah.
now at a theater near you, you can actually watch Kill Bill 1 and 2 cut as one movie with a
Mhm.
15-minute intermission in between.
Ah.
Um, and with a new, never before seen animated sequence. Um,
Oh, I've seen it actually.
wait, but it's never before been seen. I have here in my notes, it's never before been seen. Okay, some people saw it somehow.
I think it was a special feature
Of course it
uh
was.
on a DVD or a Blu-ray or something.
Well,
Cause
I was
yeah,
thinking, why would they keep that hidden? Why wouldn't you show people? Come on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I just think it wasn't incorporated into the main thing before.
Yeah.
I think that's true.
Listen, so I've always been a fan of those movies. I've always particularly liked one more than two. One has the big action and the big set pieces, and It's the one that just has all the magic, and two has a lot of good moments, but it winds down in a nice way, but it sort of is the denouement, if you will, to the story, and it's an adaptation reference, and
Oh, I know.
I know that was for the audience to
I
make
know.
sure that they know that I didn't just mispronounce that. But
Yes.
I do want to say that
Good point. Good point.
I man, newfound respect for Kill Bill, and I'm saying it in the totality of Kill Bill. Like, I always liked it, but I think I love it more. I don't know. It might have been the margaritas I had as I was watching it in the theater. Shout out to Alamo Draft House and your frozen strawberry margaritas. They're very tasty. Get it while they're cold. See, that's a plug. But yeah, I something
Wait,
happened.
are you
I just
sponsored by Alma Drafthouse now?
that's what's happening now. That's why the Patreon's ending, because I have an exclusive deal with Alamo Draft
Oh,
House.
okay. So you're going to be doing like Alamo
Yeah.
Drafthouse themed podcast.
I can only do Alamo Draft House theme media. That's where the money is. I got to go where the money is. It's always been about the money for me. So,
You don't have to tell me. You never stop talking about money.
by the way, where's the money? So anyway,
Checks in the mail.
checks in the mail. Thanks.
We still pay by check, all right?
I'm like, where's
No
the
direct deposit.
BTC? Where's the Bitcoin? Come on, we're not modern here. No, you're gonna wait for that paper. Listen, I don't know what to say. There was something about it that hit me differently. I almost felt like I watched it for the first time. It was just every scene, everything was just amazing. And the depth of what it takes to make a movie like that just really hit me in the face. And I mean, Uma Thurman is just, how do you not win an Oscar? It's only because there's kung fu in it, or something, like there's just no reason why this isn't an Academy Award level movie in terms of
Yeah.
what it takes to be filming. The cinematography is great, the soundtrack, the score, the costume design, the production design, the casting. Like every category is really, really, really amazing. And I was just blown away. I've got a newfound love for it. I still love me some Jackie Brown. I don't want to compare my baby to anything else Tarantino's done, because my Jackie Brown is special. But Kill Bill, man, something about it. And listen, I don't actually even think it need. I didn't necessarily love it being to the double feature part. It wasn't like, oh, both together is somehow better. Like, I still was like, but I just think overall, individually and together, they're really masterpieces, and I almost feel like they're undervalued. I almost feel like, what's the word?
Underrated?
Underrated. Yeah. I know they're very highly rated, but
they are very highly rated, so it's a surprising claim.
I'm not saying it's not highly rated. I'm saying the high rating might be less than it deserves.
Isn't high enough. Okay.
Yeah. So that's the last thing I saw. That's in the theaters now, I think, for the next few days, the next week or so. So if you are inclined to go see it, especially if you've never seen it, I would definitely go check it out. But it's just amazing. Just amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, since you brought that up, let me share a thought or two about it. I have not seen it, for what it's worth. I have not seen the long version where they cut it together. I've seen the two separate parts, though it's been many years. I think it's been, oh man, I think it's been at least 15 years since I saw those movies. For my personal preference, let me preface. So recently, I don't know if you heard, but there was some controversy because Quentin Tarantino came out and said that that Paul Dano in There Will Be Blood was like really bad
I haven't heard
and
that.
like was like a stain on the movie, and like that's like why he doesn't love the movie because of Paul Dano. And he even
Hmm.
said some shit like he's the worst male actor in SAG or something,
Wow.
which is like what? Um and you know, I'm not like a licensed psychotherapist.
Well, you're not? I've been misinformed our entire friendship.
so so you know, take my opinions with a grain of salt. But like I feel like Kill Bill was like a turning point in Tarantino's career.
Hmm.
um and I like the stuff he did before Kill Bill a lot more than I like the stuff he did after Kill Bill.
Yeah.
And um and I feel like Kill Bill almost bridges that gap. Because like I feel like there's this thing where, you know, like and the Paul Dano thing, like I think is something specific with the way his character is. I think he doesn't like that type of character, and I feel like he's translating that into bad acting. I don't really
Yeah.
agree. Um, because like he doesn't have those kind of sniveling characters very often. He likes characters who are cool. And
And he's
uh
not cool. Yeah.
exactly, he's like the opposite of cool. And but I feel like it works. And anyway, um
Hmm.
I feel like after Kill Bill, like he kind of took a turn away from and you know, there to varying degrees, but like took a turn like he always had that balance. I think, at least for me, that was what excited me when I originally saw his stuff, you know, in the 90s. That it was like it was an interesting balance between someone who definitely wants to entertain the audience, can definitely do spectacle, and is known for violence and stuff like that. um, and someone who actually can, uh, you know, slow things down, do character work, and do like quiet, contemplative moments.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
I think those early movies all have that balance very nicely.
Yeah.
Um, and I think when I first saw Kill Bill Volume 1, that's when I was like, okay, this is like tipped over. It's not, there's no, it's just all noise to me. Like, I have a hard time with that kind of movie. Like,
Yeah.
it really did not work for me.
Yeah.
I would have to see it again to know what I would think of it now. But when I saw it, I was massively disappointed because
Mm.
Jackie Brown disappointed me in a different way. You know, mainly it was the fact that it didn't have like 18,000 obvious quotes like Pulp Fiction did, you know?
Yeah.
And I've come to believe that like Pulp Fiction is just a once in a lifetime, you know, like no one does that, you know. Like for like the Coen brothers, it was Big Lebowski. Like
Yeah.
you have that one script where you just come up with like a ridiculous number of good lines in one movie, you
Hmm.
know, and it never really happens again, you know. And I think it took me years to step back and go, okay, it doesn't have like a million quotes, but it is actually a great movie. Like, and Jackie Brown is probably his most contemplative movie, I would
Hmm.
say.
Hmm.
Um, of them all. And yeah, and I think it holds up really well. But yeah, when I saw Kill Bill Volume 1, it was like, oh no, like I got nothing out of it. It was like, it was, you know, like it was
Hmm.
a lot of stuff in my face, but like all you know, if you heard my Marvel stuff, that like once people start jumping around, like, you know,
Yeah.
I just I just have a limited like attention span for that. And so I just like the character stuff. So for me, part two was far
Yeah.
more
You always love
enjoyable.
part two. Yeah.
Yeah, part two was the one where I was like, okay, okay, it is there. And I actually feel like putting it together might help me like get
Yeah.
over my dislike for part one, because it isn't a single entity that I
Yeah.
have to sit with by itself, but
Yep.
like it's more the raucous opening to a very long epic. Um,
Yes.
that does wind down, and I actually admire that he didn't go. So like another point, God man, I hit the concept. I'm not trying to pontificate about Quentin Tarantino so much, but it's a can of worms for me apparently.
Hmm.
It gets me thinking about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because
Yeah.
like something that's interesting about it too. Did you see the movie?
I saw it. I don't. I talk about not getting anything out of a movie. I got nothing out of that. I just, yeah. That's his. That's literally my least favorite Tarantino movie by
Okay,
far.
okay, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Although Glorious Bastards is a close second, but
yeah.
oh, I forgot about Death Proof. Ooh. But okay, I digress. You go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I mean, yeah, that's all fair. I had mixed feelings about the movie. I think it had moments I enjoyed, but the thing I wanted to mention was that so it ends on a big like climactic violent scene involving the Manson murders. Like the whole thing is like
Yeah.
is it's this like what do you call that? Like
Hmm.
historical fantasy. I don't know what the word is, but it's
Yeah.
like speculative fiction. It's like the thing he's doing in Inglourious Basterds and
Exactly.
Django
Yeah.
Unchained, where he's like revisiting a real thing from history, but doing it in a fanciful way where like he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Um, and like change history basically, right? So it ends on this whole thing where like they go to the wrong house, and and like fucking Brad Pitt and Leo take out the Manson murderers, right? And it's
Hmm.
all like, yeah, I'm gonna flamethrow your ass in the swimming pool, and yeah, right? It's all that shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like so he wrote a novelization of that movie, which on alone is interesting. He's never done that with any of his other movies.
Yeah.
And
Interesting.
I listened to the audiobook narrated by Jennifer Jason Leigh, by the way, who did a great job. Um,
Wow.
and it was so much better. I can't even tell you. Better on every level.
Hmm.
Way more interesting. Had a ton of like meta stuff, including going in deep into the plots of movies that Leo was filming in a way that I was like, oh shit, you should make this. Like, this is interesting within the story. I love that shit. I love like stories within stories. That's a fun thing for me. And
Yeah.
and and the movie paid like a lot less attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
But most notably to me is the whole thing with the Mansons isn't even narrated in the book. He swerves around it completely. And that was notable to me because I'm like, okay, why did you do that? Like, why did you change it from the way it is in the movie version? Why did you leave this climactic the ending of your movie? You left it out
Yeah.
of the novelization. Like, isn't that
Yeah.
weird?
Hmm.
And it actually ends on this fairly quiet scene. Um,
Hmm.
uh, and I was like, I wondered, like, was there a behind the scenes thing where like someone was like, you can't end the movie like this, or did he just tell himself, I can't end the movie like this, it
It's a
needs to be something
movie. You can't.
exciting?
You can't end. Yeah. You can't end
Yeah.
that.
Even though, like, Jackie Brown, Pulp Fiction, even Kill Bill, end
Hmm.
on fairly quiet moments.
Yeah.
Like they don't end on a big burst of violence. Like that's
No.
not the way he always ends stories. And yet, then Inglourious Bastards, Death Proof, Django Unchained, Hateful Eight, right? One after another, he's doing that in every single movie. It's like, gotta give you a
Hmm.
big, big show at the end. And I just think it's interesting that he chose not to do that. It suggests to me that there's still like potential there, but I don't know. It's like it feels like he took a turn with Kill Bill, and like it was almost a bridge between the two where like everything became more like part one after that. And
Yeah.
I felt like I lost the thing that I liked most, which is when he would like settle down with the spectacle and just do some interesting character work, because I think when he cares about that stuff, he's good at it. It's just yeah, like he also has this obsession with, like dazzling the audience, which is fine. I mean, if you're showing
Yeah.
things to people, of course you want to dazzle them. I get it. It's just not, that's not particularly to my taste. So anyway, I think it's interesting, and yeah, it makes me think I should try to catch
I
it
would
and
definitely go
see.
see it. I would definitely go see it while you can, because it's not going to be, it's kind of a special thing, having the two
Yeah,
together and it be one experience. And I think it does, as a whole, it's an amazing story as a whole, and I do think it gels well as watching it as one thing. By the time you get to the end, it is a whole big journey, and so much about that movie, again, of course, with his style, is it's in the editing and the chronology, and
yeah,
there's you start the movie with like the second person she kills, not the first person she kills,
right.
and it's like, why are we starting here when, because, well, it's because the first person she kills is a longer sequence and there's more going
Right.
on, and you know, yeah, but it's just so well done, and the music is just amazing. Every musical cue, every soundtrack, like, just again, I don't know if it was the margaritas, the music, the speakers in the theaters were extra good, but like, that was the sound was part of the experience. So I think that's another thing if you go see it, um, to lean into, another reason to see it in the theaters is because the sound is so good. You'll get a better oral experience, not
Yeah.
oral, but oral.
I'll roll. Yeah.
Thank you, please. One's illegal. And but so that was, so yeah, I would say revisit that. Maybe we'll podcast about it. But I was just pleasant. I just kind of went as a lark, just oh, okay, I'll watch this, and I didn't
Yeah.
expect to come out of it liking it more than I ever have. But I am the person who likes the spectacle. I
Yeah.
like the martial arts. I like the cinematography. I like the crazy
Same
heightened
thing with the Matrix.
reality.
It's my same problem
Exactly.
I have
Yeah.
with that stuff.
Yeah, I get into that stuff, and so that's the thing about one in particular, that I mean, and two has a lot of action, of course, too, but it's just done
Not
so
quite as much
well.
though.
I mean, not quite as much. There's no like 20-minute action sequence like
Exactly.
there is in the first one. But it's just so well done, and there's just so many details. It's not just, oh, she looks cool with the sword, and there's a bunch of blood splatter. Like, it's just so well thought out, and the shots, the cinematography, the character. Even like when she's fighting the crazy 88s to get to Orin, like, there's this whole little kind of mini subplot about the young, whenever she is about to kill somebody who is, like, doesn't deserve it, she takes a moment, so there's like this
Yeah.
one young Yakuza dude who is too young to be fighting. She sees him at the beginning of the fight, and she basically, like, tells him to shoot, and she doesn't kill him. But then he doesn't actually go home. She fights him again later, and this is the scene where, like, they're fighting in the dark and it's the blue background, and she's fighting off everybody. And again, and that's the other thing too, is he just knows, like, when the action needs to change, so you don't just get, one long sequence and one visual style, like, it completely changes, and it's just so imaginative. But anyway, you get to the kind of end of that sequence, and she's about to kill this last guy, and the lights come on just before she kills him, and she realizes it's the fucking young kid again. And she's like, God damn it, you again, go home. She bends him over and spanks him with her sword and says, go home to your mother. And it's just kind of like, that's the thing you don't get out of most. Anybody could have done the action sequences, but that little narrative thread about her morality, same way with, like, when she fights Vivica Fox's character, and she's like, listen, I'm not going to kill you in front of your daughter, which I do love because, spoiler alert, she actually does. But I just
Yeah.
love that thing if she's like, it's like that thing that happens in, like, murder mysteries too, where a character says something and it's literally the opposite of what's true, and you'll find that out later. But
Right.
yeah, she goes, I didn't come here to kill you in front of your daughter. And it's like, okay, well, give it 5 minutes. And just that, and just that thing, and the same with Bill. Like the thing I love about the characters is just like that thing of Bill, where you know Ellie wants to go, poison the bride while she's asleep and in a coma, I should say. And Bill's like, no, 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 no. She deserves more respect. That woman deserves her vengeance. We did her wrong. We've got this code of honor. Even though like we did it, it's just it's like Ben and Law saying, "Oh, I guess I overreacted." Because it's like Bill, like, dude, you were so sure this was the right thing to do, but then you did it and then you regretted it, and you're like, well, I'm not so bad that we should just kill her. I'm actually good enough to be like, let her have her chance at us.
Yeah.
I just really appreciate those nuances in the character. And David Carradine is so great. And just from top to bottom, just everybody's great in the movie, and it just has so much depth and character that most movies just do not have at all. So yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was surprised to hear that cuz yeah, I didn't think I would think that much differently about it, um but but yeah, I do think it was the last time. I feel like that's the last time I was really like a proper fan. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
transitioned into
Mm-hmm.
more like, well, you
Yeah,
know,
I'll see what he does, kind of a thing.
yeah, like there aren't that many auteurs working these days,
How
and
dare you, sir?
so like whenever someone does that, like I'm interested even if their thing isn't my thing,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, yeah, that's a good
At least,
recommendation.
at least he's not James Cameron making yet another Avatar movie. There's going to be five of them. The third one
I
just came out this
heard.
weekend. Listen, I like the first one. Cool. Clap, clap, clap. The second one, I'm like, okay, I don't really get it. I'm not here for this. It's kind of okay, but it's like Jurassic Park. Listen, you can only see dinosaurs for the first time once. You know, you can only go to the Navi world, the Avatar world, and that experience once. And even
Right.
though he changes the locale and the sort of ecosystem that he's exploring, and and your new fanciful visuals, it's still kind of like, not that exciting. So. But by the way, I didn't know about this Paul Dano thing. As a working director in Hollywood, I'm surprised he would be that vocal about another working actor and their performance. You don't usually see somebody saying, "Hey, this person who was in somebody else's movie was the worst thing ever."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, while
And
he was at it, he was like, "Oh yeah, and also I hate Owen Wilson, and also Matthew Lillard." He was just
like,
like he was just
what? Like,
trashing people for no apparent reason.
I mean, he's clearly in his old man get off my lawn era.
Yeah,
Like it's just a thing that happens.
yeah,
Clearly, but it's weird because like as a director, and he's an actor too. He should understand like what could have led Paul to have that performance and blah blah blah. I just feel like he's not just a
yeah,
movie viewer saying that. He's got
yeah.
such a specific vantage point, literally as a director who. But again, you go, well, shit. If he's Tarantino as a director and he's saying that's a bad performance, maybe that's a bad performance. I don't know.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
or
yeah,
maybe I saw a little quote. He was saying that his point was that There Will Be Blood is supposed to be a two-hander between Dano and Day Lewis, but like maybe the problem is Day Lewis is Day Lewis. Like maybe like if you're comparing the two and saying they should have been going toe to toe, then it's kind of like, well, it is Daniel Day Lewis. So if you were
yeah,
gonna
yeah,
lose
yeah.
out, then
But I just feel like the character on the page is bigger, and he's always outmatched. And the fact that he even gets to compete at all is sort of a minor victory. Obviously, he doesn't win in the end. I'm not
yeah,
really convinced that that's actually what the story is. I think he's like one axis of conflict for Daniel Day-Lewis's character, but I really don't think that's the whole movie. And I feel like
I
this
didn't
is
feel like that either. I didn't feel like it was a two-hander where they were supposed to be
yeah,
even, a battle of the
yeah,
minds like that. I think it was clear
no.
it's Daniel Day-Lewis's movie.
Very much so. Yeah, no, I think that's why like it's not written that way. So it's like he's got a movie in his head that it's not, but like
Yeah.
I don't think that's what they were really going for. So it's like, well, maybe you would like that movie better, but that's not the movie they were trying to make. So
Yeah.
like it
And he
doesn't
should know that.
really I agree. I agree. I because it's like I could like turn that around to like your shit if I wanted, but like
Literally, yeah. None of your last movies are the movies I wanted them to be.
yeah, exactly. Like even it doesn't seem like the movie was what you wanted it to be because you rewrote it
He rewrote
completely.
it and changed it. Yeah, that's funny.
So like what the fuck? Like what was that about? Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. Maybe he's just yeah, getting to be a grumpy old man. I like that idea actually.
I think that's it.
It's
He's
been
like, he's
around long
like,
enough.
he's like, the kids on college campuses are too sensitive.
Mhm.
Everybody needs a safe space. Paul Dano's the
Yep.
worst actor in SAG. That's all the same
Exactly.
thing. It's all the same thing.
Exactly.
So what have
Uh,
you been I've got other things on my list, but what have you been watching? What do you want to talk about?
all right. So, I don't know who needs to hear this. Obviously, it's not you, because you've already heard it from me.
Ah,
But like for any of you out there um, who like a certain kind of movie, if your taste is exactly like mine, then let me recommend some things. Um, like you might not be into them, but anyway, I just wanted to do it. So the first one, it's been a while since I've really had the chance to do this, so I feel like I have to reach back a little bit. These are going to be my favorite movies of the last 3 years. Here we go, one movie per year. So
okay, this is
um,
interesting.
yeah. So my favorite movie of 2023 was Todd Haynes's May December. And I think Walk Don't Run, if you haven't seen it already, um it's like incredible. If you're into like that kind of thing, it's this weird melodrama kind of thing that's like vaguely based on a true story, but not um very very ambiguous characters. It's like I clearly have a taste for like a drama that like touches on uncomfortable subjects and doesn't like try to make some kind of definitive statement about it, but just like goes into like the various ways that they can affect the characters, and the whole thing kind of revolves around that. And it's got like great performances, and it got me into melodrama in general. Like after that, like I watched a bunch of like Douglas Sirk movies that I was really into, and I watched some other Todd Haynes stuff that was great. So it was like a huge gateway for me. And if you haven't seen it already, like it's like mind blowing. Um,
Well, as someone who has seen May December, I liked it a lot. I'd want to watch it again because I don't remember much of it. It was definitely a movie that felt like an experience, and it was unusual for sure, and yeah, very captivating.
yeah, yeah, I was surprised. I was surprised, and great music, by the way. Uh, and so for 2024, my favorite movie was Luca Guadagnino's Challengers, which got a lot of attention because of this one little image of the three of them on a bed that like everyone got really excited about. And I was like, oh, some dumb tennis move. Like, why would I watch this? um and I forget what it was that I was sick or something. Yeah, I think I was sick, And so I turned on Challengers, uh and yeah, it blew me away. I have a real weakness for that type of story in particular. Um and what I mean by that is a story of characters like over time, and like the way that, the place where they start and the way that their like life changes over time, and how that affects the way they relate to
Mm-hmm.
each other. Like, so like Once Upon a
Once
Time
upon
in
a time in
America
America.
is the most obvious like comparison for that.
That's your
um
go-to classic.
it's yeah, yeah, and I'm a sucker for that kind of story. Like I really enjoy that, that whole, and like there's this movie with James Spader and John Cusack from the 90s called True Colors, that's also of that type, and like pulled
Yeah.
me in for the same reason. Um and yeah, it's not really about tennis, even though like the characters care about tennis, but it's more about like the fact that the characters care about tennis than it's about tennis,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. And whatever other things the characters care about, and like their interesting sort of love quadrangle. I don't know. It's a strange relationships that they all have with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it ends on a very strange, ambiguous moment that I don't fully understand.
Yeah. Okay, you didn't
And
understand the ending either. Okay, okay, okay.
no, I don't understand it. But that's part of what I like about it. It's open to interpretation in at least what is for me an interesting way, which is the key
Yeah.
for that kind of thing. Because it could just be like a what, I don't care, but this is a like what, you've drawn me in. Like I didn't think you
And
were
that's the
gonna do that.
difference. That's the difference between you and me is we have a different point at which we say what and lean in and or what and
Yeah.
lean away. And for me that was a lean away because I wasn't in enough already to feel like that added anything. And similar to I think what's going to be your next movie.
Yeah, I
Uh
think because apparently there's only one director I like now.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so my pick for 2025 is definitely once again Luca Guadagnino. Oh, I had to work on that
Okay.
one. After the Hunt. A movie that, unlike Challengers, I think because Challengers had like Zendaya and like this sort of maybe more obvious marketability, um, it made a bigger splash. But After the Hunt seems like they were just like, I don't know what to do with this. Let's put it in a theater and try to forget about it. I saw it in a theater with like five people,
Yeah.
and it's a college campus drama, which is just right in my wheelhouse. I feel like
Mhm.
it's doing an alternate take on some stuff from like Oleana, which I really love. But I think like there's definitely room to say something different from what Oleana said about those topics.
Mhm.
And I think it does say something different from Oleana on those topics. And yet it doesn't say anything, you know, too boring or simplistic or easily summed up. But I
Mm.
think it hovers around some issues, and also like it's a more modern story, so it's really coming at the college campus from a more recent point of view. Oleana is from the
Hmm.
early 90s.
Mhm.
And so it was a different world back then, and so there's certain ideas that couldn't come up. But besides that, I just like the characters. I love how opaque they are. I mean, it's the same way I feel about May December. I and Challengers.
Mm.
I like opaque characters that are opaque in an interesting way that makes me wonder, like, what's your deal? Like, if I actually
Mhm.
care, then
Mhm.
that means like I'm in it. And I really enjoyed all the actors. I enjoyed the kind of style of the movie a lot. And I enjoyed the fact that like there's a version of that movie that revolves around did it or didn't it happen? And it doesn't actually. Like like it's
Yeah.
not even the main point of the movie, let alone like do they even answer whether it happened or not? And they
Yeah.
don't.
So we're getting to some obvious spoiler territory here. FYI, if you haven't seen that
Oh
movie,
yeah, yeah,
or,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I was trying to be vague enough to not
I
be
mean, you
too
didn't
spoilery.
spoil any details, but you
Yeah.
know the concept.
I gave away a certain element. If you watch it, you might be able to guess what I'm referring to. Um, and if you know
I think it's okay.
Oleana, you
Yeah,
might
I
be
mean, I
able to
think it's okay
guess.
to spoil because I there's some details I want to talk about if we have time to talk about it. But but yeah, go ahead
Oh,
and continue your point
okay,
there.
okay. No, no, go for it.
Well, I did.
I
So
think that's
listen, I
interesting.
actually don't even remember what my favorite movies of the last 3 years were. I have to go look to see what
It's
movies I
easy to
watched.
remember because I have so few.
Yeah, I'm like, I know what they are. I just have to go remember what they are. Listen, you recommended May December. I watched it. It did its thing. I liked the thing it did. It I think it's the kind of so we have very similar tastes. So obviously Venn diagram, right? There's some big
Yeah.
overlaps in the kind of things we like, but then there's some parts of those circles that don't overlap.
Yep.
May December hits right in that sweet spot where it didn't go too far to where in a thing that it's doing that it turned me off. I think it actually managed to stay in the right zone for me to both, watch the movie and have it be an experience and I get to the end and I'm like, I don't know what this was about, but that's fine because I enjoyed the
Yeah.
experience and it did something and that's it. I didn't need any more out of it. Other movies like Challengers and After the Hunt don't quite work for me because even if they're supposed to be experiential and not really give you a definitive point, they hook me in a way where I want to know what the point is, but then you get to the end and
And you
there
don't
is
get
no
one.
real point. And then
Yeah.
I go, well, then what was the what? Okay, the story didn't give me the thing I wanted. What about the characters? What did I get out of the characters? Let me see this character growth. Oh, there weren't any major character arcs. Oh, huh. Okay, I don't even understand these characters and what they really wanted out of life, what they even cared about. Oh, okay. So now we're starting to lose the things that I need a story to have to be engaging and entertaining. Generally speaking, I need a character arc. I need to know what you want in the beginning of the movie, and then to see what you get at the end to know what happened. What did you do? Did you like what happened or not? After the Hunt might be the most egregious to me on those metrics because I think there's no real definitive character arcs. The characters are also impenetrable. And by the end, I think they almost all end up better than they started. So I'm like, I don't, and with the context of what the drama is about, I don't understand. I don't understand how a trauma that we don't actually get the details of what actually happened in terms of like an objective truth ends up, a trauma meaning like something bad happened to somebody and to some people and it rippled out into the related characters. How do we end up in a better spot and nobody actually really cares what happened? Also, the movie's called After the Hunt, and the only After the Hunt movie is the epilogue. Like, like if the movie was really After the Hunt, and you started with the epilogue and you continued on, and then it was about what happened years and years ago. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of what I thought was the movie was saying. Hey, we're not Oleana, or we're not gonna focus on that hot button, kind of topical issue or whatever. This is about what happens after the disaster, right? But I feel like the
Hmm.
movie didn't really. I agree with you. It wasn't about the thing that happened, but I feel like the movie itself wasn't just after the hunt. The movie itself was before the hunt and during the hunt, and then at the very end, it was after the hunt. It didn't work for me. I can't. Yeah, there's a lot of things I didn't like. It's particularly the last line of the movie. I appreciated being surprised. I appreciated the audacity of it. It reminded me of Soderbergh's.
Oh,
Um, oh God, what was that Soderbergh movie from the early 2000s?
full
Uh,
frontal.
Full Frontal. It reminded me of that.
Yeah,
Where I go,
yeah,
oh, okay, you're doing
totally
that.
agree.
Cool. That's interesting. That's interesting. But I
Also
feel
with
like
Julia Roberts, I think.
also with Julia Roberts. And by the way, the thing in After the Hunt that she proves true is, the laugh that's famous that she has in Pretty Woman when she,
Yes.
that's just her life, guys. She does it
Yeah.
again. She does it
Yeah.
again, and it's the exact same. And listen,
Yeah.
that's the magic of America's It Girl. Um, but
That's
yeah,
just how
I
she
have.
laughs.
That's just how she laughs. It's just that charming. She's not acting. It's the apotheosis of female laughter. And so I had some problems with it. Listen, I like the cast. I liked a lot of interesting things about it. So here's what I will say, and I have some issues with challengers. I'll say real quick too.
Yeah.
Luca, I like him as a director. He
Yeah.
gets me. In the first 5 minutes of his movies, the biggest thing for me is confidence. The
Mm-hmm.
director has to convince you, no matter what they're doing, even if they do a flash forward, and I hate flash forwards at the beginning of a movie, even if they do whatever, they have to convince me they're confident in the story they're telling, even if it's not a story that's for me. Like, I can at
Yeah.
least tell your confidence. And he's very confident. He knows what he's doing. If he's going to make you wait, he's going to make you wait.
Yep.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so I appreciated that. Like, I will watch his stuff because I think he's a good director. I haven't seen Call Me by Your Name.
Yes.
And I
I
haven't
have seen
seen.
it. I wasn't blown away by it, but it
Okay.
wasn't bad.
Okay, I'm gonna watch that, and I want to watch Queer. Those are the two big
Oh
ones
yeah,
of his
yeah.
I haven't
And
seen.
we actually covered his Suspiria remake,
Yeah, we did talk about his Spirit, which I
which
again
I didn't like.
I didn't like, but the directing was fine. Like, no, he's
I
not a
agree.
bad
I agree,
director.
actually. Now that I understand what his thing is, I think I get that movie more. And it actually has made me want to revisit the earlier
Yeah,
stuff, including Call Me by Your Name again.
I'd probably like Suspiria. I was comparing it to the original, so
That's the
I'd probably like
problem.
it on its own merits. I'm sure it's fine. But I was
Yeah.
gonna say, yeah, with Challengers, a similar thing. I think the movie isn't about what the marketing made it seem to be about. The sort of love triangle thing is really a very small piece of it. Like,
Yeah.
it is underscoring everything, but the movie isn't about that, if that makes sense.
No, 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 no. It's
Um,
definitely it's an element, but yeah, it's not about
and
that.
but I actually liked the movie more than I thought I would, because I really thought it was more about this psychosexual sports movie, and watch
Hmm.
Zendaya like make these white boys fall in love with her and then make out with each other, and then they don't know
Yeah.
how they feel about each other, and that's going to affect their tennis game. And that's not really the movie. It's a little bit of the movie, but that's not really the movie. I the characters over time thing I do like, but it's not a, automatic, collect $200, go to go kind of thing for me. I generally do like it. I do, and I think they did a good job with it, and the actors were well cast. Especially having to play, different, the same characters over different time periods. Like, I think
Yeah, yeah,
there's a,
yeah.
there's a lot of good stuff about it. It just didn't come to much for me, and then the ending is baffling. I don't know what to make of it. And to me, I listen, it's just a hard sell for me. Like, you get you get some credit of pulling the rug out from under me at the very end of something and confusing me or surprising me. You'll get some credit, but if I don't know what to do with that feeling of, if that feeling of surprise or lack of clarity or confusion doesn't make me understand the movie more, if it doesn't feel like it was the final piece to everything, like I would say like Lynch stuff is, then I feel like you got some points for pulling the rug out, because most people wouldn't pull the rug out. So I give you points for being bold, but also I don't understand your movie now, so I'm going to deduct more points. So you kind of a negative. And
Right,
that's kind of how I
right.
felt about Challengers. It didn't really come to much. Yeah, and I don't know what it's trying to say. And back to After the Hunt. I don't know what that movie's trying to say about what it's about. And I don't really like that feeling. I don't know what is the point about focusing on an issue if you're not going to say something about the issue. And so I'm curious what you, if you feel like there is some sort of takeaway that you get out of it that's not the obvious, sexual assault on college campus conversation thing or something.
Yeah.
And the last thing I'll say before I throw it over to you is that I just thought it didn't even really work on the ambiguity of what happened because I thought the movie shot itself in the foot on the ambiguity part. Because I think it's pretty obvious what happened because the movie showed us a couple things that, like, it's not, to me, it's not the kind of movie that gives you 50% of evidence for option A and 50% of evidence for option B and lets you go, well, there's not enough evidence to know what happened. I think in a court of law, beyond a reasonable doubt, I think you can actually probably make a decent case. There's a particular shot of the day after with what's her name's character, Ayo's character, that I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, if this is objective reality, she would only be behaving like this if something happened. Okay. Then at the end, with Andrew Garfield's character, there's a scene with him and Julia Roberts that I'm like, okay, well, if he's doing that now to her, this leads you to believe he could. You know what I'm saying? So the movie
Of
didn't
course.
even
Of
stick
course.
to me, the
Well,
movie was saying he really probably did it.
well,
And I'm like, where's the ambiguity then?
I'll agree with you to the point that I believe something happened. It's undeniable. I think no one denied that he went up there, right? Like he admitted that he went up there. Um, so something definitely happened. I think the real ambiguity is like what exactly happened because she never says.
Yeah, and I
Because
agree.
like Julia Roberts, like that's their initial rift is Julia Roberts is like, what are you saying happened?
Yeah.
And
Well, and
she's like, does it matter? Like, I said enough? Like, right? She
yeah,
never specifies because it could have been something like what happened to Julia Roberts, which isn't okay, of course. But there's a spectrum there between that and, something a lot worse.
I guess that's a distinction without a difference to me when it's that granular. Now, obviously, you know, in the legal realm, that's a huge distinction with a difference in terms of like what someone actually does in a violent crime situation, or just a threatening or whatever. Right? There's a huge spectrum, so it really does matter when you're talking about. But as a movie viewer, that's almost a distinction without a difference to me. Like the point is, he did something to me. Like, did he fondle her inappropriately? Or did he, forcibly penetrate her? Whatever the spectrum might be. It almost like the detail is interesting, but it almost doesn't matter. To me, the movie was about did he do it or not what did he do. And so on the topic of did he do it or not, I felt like the movie didn't leave me in that space of teetering between different options and then like Inception or something, the way Inception ends, right? Where the to me the ambiguous ending of Inception works because it's very interesting to go, oh, is he dreaming or not? And then what does it say about the character if he is dreaming? And what does it say about the character if he's not dreaming? Like it actually adds to what the movie's talking about because it ends ambiguously. And I didn't feel that way with After the Hunt. And again, I just thought the characters were just so robotic in a way and not in touch with some of their emotionality that was interesting, right? Like definitely interesting. But
Well,
by
I
the
love that.
end,
I don't even know if the characters know what they want sometimes. Like
yeah, and
it's that's interesting
again,
to me.
yeah, that's an interesting thing, but it's shallow to me. It's interesting to a small degree. It's not interesting enough to make me go, well, I want more of that. That's the world I want to live in, or that's the narrative world that I want to unpack. Is characters who don't even know what they want, like you know what I'm saying? And then by the end, it was kind of like, well, we're all happy. Everybody's actually like literally better than they were before. So then, like, well, what was the point and what was the problem? And I guess there's no problem, which is why we're able to move on amicably. Like, sorry, spoiler alert. So that's kind of my issues with the movie. I liked a lot of the concepts. You know, and even the beginning was interesting. Like, you know, you just see again good directing, like the way the characters are way too familiar with each other in the very opening scene. They're
Yeah.
touching each other in ways.
Yeah,
They're
yeah,
too
yeah.
close. You know, I mean, like Julia Roberts kisses Io, you know, in the kitchen scene, and then she accidentally kisses Julia Roberts' husband. You
Yeah.
know, and there's all these weird transgressions and like you know coming up to the line of a boundary, and so you're you know, and it's very interesting because you're trying to understand these characters, and you're like, well, this is that typical liberal New York, you know, nonsense. You know what I'm saying? Like this
Yeah.
ain't Christian behavior. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like this is Sodom and Gomorrah on the campus. You know, here's you know, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like. Of course, a boundary is going to get pushed in a situation like this. None of these people are actually being like HR professional, you
Yeah.
know, in their boundaries. So, which I think is good. Like in terms of like the writing, like I was fine with that. Like that was part of the hook for me was like, and it was very palpable. It wasn't like, oh, in hindsight, I get to see. It's like, no, I see the picture you're painting. This is a world where the boundaries are already very thin, and it takes one, you know, one little line or one little miscommunication can now blow all this up, you know. But yeah, just like you know, I just don't know what I'm supposed to do with it by the end of it. And so that's if I have that feeling at the end of a movie or a story that I'm just like, I just don't know what to do with what I watched. Like it doesn't change my mind about the topic. It doesn't make me see a certain type of person any different. It doesn't give me any action. You know, even like Andrew Garfield's character, I feel like guy had a disservice in a way where like we didn't really even get to understand his perspective because you know by the end of it he just seems like the bad guy, you know, like you know unambiguously the bad guy, not like a good guy who is like an Oleana or something, like a good guy who's somebody's saying he's bad, and because of the structure of the system we believe the victim, and now he you know now he's the victim unwittingly because you know what I'm saying, like all the things that other movies have done before with that kind of thing I didn't really get from it,
Hmm.
but definitely, but listen, Challengers and After the Hunt, not bad movies at all, just not for me.
Sure, 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 sure. Yeah, yeah. And it might not be for you either, but I just think in terms of modern cinema, like they've been some of the most exciting things I've seen because like I live for that kind of drama. And like I think when I think about things that I like, you know, I think the more um I mean I can definitely make statements about like the characters and like some elements of their personalities and what they want, and I could maybe summarize some things that come up along the way, but I feel like none of that really equals ever for me like the experience of like living with the characters, and like I'm interested in like what their deal is. And I think when I get in that place, I'm pulled in, and I'm still thinking about it afterwards. Like it's an interesting semi-reconciliation
Hmm.
that we end on. And actually you could say that about Challengers as well.
Hmm.
Um and but it doesn't quite, it doesn't leave me fully satisfied, and I think that's why like I keep thinking about it and kind of going over like what was going
Mm.
on in that story. And so I think yeah, with a lot of my favorite things, like that's how it ends up being. It's like it sticks in
Hmm.
my mind because of its sort of uncertain elements. And but like done in, at least for me, like an interesting and like
Hmm.
artful way, because obviously if you just do a bunch of shit that makes no sense, like that's not like
Yeah.
automatically great. um
Yeah. Yeah. I know I definitely hear that. I think that's where our tastes divide because I lean in the same way you lean into what's this person about? What are these characters about? What is this world about? But I'm carrying that question with me through the movie, and I'm looking I'm watching the movie to see it get answered. And so if I get to the end of the movie and I still have the same question, that could still be okay. It's not necessarily my favorite, but it can still be fine. But if my question is not then answered by revisiting the movie again to go, okay, now that I've seen the movie, my question was, what are these characters about? I get to the end, it's ambiguous. I go, wow, I still don't know what they're about. But now, if I can use that information from knowing the whole story to go back and rewatch it and to help me answer that question, then I can keep going with my interest in leaning in. But if I'm like, okay, I had the question, the characters were kind of impenetrable, or there's a wall we have to figure out. They're not traditionally written characters. They're hiding things from us and themselves. Okay, I get to the end. Okay, now the ending is ambiguous. We didn't get a definitive, but like, okay, were we watching the movie help me answer that question? Because if not, then I don't think I like it. Because I'm like, well, then what did I get out of this? Besides a question that wasn't answered that I was actually really interested in.
I feel like I do get like more like a different perspective. At least when I watch it again, like I had a different. It didn't solve it for me, but like I
Mm-hmm,
paid attention to certain moments in a different way from what I did the first time. You know, knowing like where it's going, and when you get like a private moment with Io's character, for example, like it's interesting to me because I feel like a lot of times she's performing a certain kind of thing with other characters, and so I'm not really sure how
mm-hmm.
much of that is like what she wants to project and how much of that is like what she really feels. And I think in a way she's also confused herself, um which is part of what's interesting to me about the character. Like it's a very it's like she's not a villain, she's also not a like heroine, she's sort of
Mm-hmm.
like this like strange middle ground character. And yeah, I feel like I get something, but I understand. I mean, yeah. uh it's not
Yeah.
an unreasonable point of view.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I can get it. But I think for those of you out there, if you know you're into that kind of thing, um you know, ambiguous contemplative character pieces,
Yeah.
uh then I think you should at least check it out. And like maybe you don't like it in the end, but I think it's worth a shot.
Mm-hmm. I think it's yeah. I've never been the kind of person that like I like a movie or a story that swings for the fences for sure, but just because you do something unusual doesn't mean you're going to get an automatic win, kind of a thing. But
Oh yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think one of the best movies I've seen this year to just go in a complete 180 in terms of the type of movie is Predator Badlands.
Uh-huh.
I mean, just a perfect popcorn movie. Absolutely perfect. It does all the tropes you've seen before, but does them perfectly in a new environment, which is what Hollywood
Mhm.
wants. All new but familiar. And just I saw it twice. I was like, this is like it shouldn't even be this good. Like this is a great in a narrow way, movie. And I know exactly what happened and why. I know what the Predator wanted from the beginning, and I know
Yeah.
what he wanted by the end, and how he felt about it. And I can sleep at night, knowing all that. The cast was great. It just did.
Maybe that's the
It's got
difference
this
between you and
whole
me. I don't want to sleep at night. I want to be kept awake, going like, "What the
yeah.
fuck?"
I don't want to be kept awake. I don't mind being kept awake if something gets me. I don't mind it, but I don't want it. I think I want to go to sleep.
I'm chasing it. I'm
Um,
chasing it because I see too many things that are just like that go straight through me. Like it's like I
yeah.
watch it and it's like it never happened. Like
Yes.
you'll tell me a year later that I saw it and I'll be like, "Really? I don't remember that at all."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel that way about 90% of the time.
Hmm.
So, yeah, anyway, Predator Badlands, that's interesting. I actually forgot about that was even a thing. Um, do you think I would actually enjoy it?
Well, listen. Um,
Just for just
I could
curious.
I mean, I could tell you why I enjoy it. I don't think it has the things that you like out of movies, and
Hmm.
because you're not really into actiony,
Yeah.
fighting things, that stuff will be lost on you. Not lost on you, wasted on you. Like
Yeah.
it won't really give you won't give a lot of points for that, which I think the movie does need.
Right.
Um, what I like about the movie is it does this thing actually that first of all, it's just a very classic story. It's a fish out of water story, stranger in a strange land story from the predator's perspective, which I believe is the first time they've done any predator movie where the predator is the main character. And that's already like it's interesting, but it's also seems like a dumb gimmick. So when I heard that, I was like, okay, but like that seems
Hmm.
bad. Like, what is here, predator talking? Like, who cares about that?
The Predator
But
talks.
the predator talks.
Oh.
They keep it subtitled in its native language, which helps.
Ah,
Um,
okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's like the Klingon stuff in Discovery, you
Right,
know.
right, right.
So yeah, we follow the story from the predator's perspective, and it does this thing that I really like in stories, which I don't see that much. But it's the stranger in a strange land when you get this character who who has this sort of very methodical way that they kind of get acclimated to their new environment. The Riddick movie, the last Riddick movie, had the same. The whole first act was like this too, where it's like you get on this planet and everything's there designed to kill you, kind of a thing. And so it's just this fun like discovery thing that you go on with the character. They kind of test them and stuff like that. But the Predator is an interesting character. I was never that interested in the character as a villain. But it's cool to a degree, but not like that interesting as like a horror villain or anything like that. Um, if I'm not mistaken, the Hirogen from Voyager are basically based on the Predator.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
I
I
think
can see
they just
that.
completely copied that. And I always like the Hirogen. So anyway, but I don't
Yep.
know. The movie just really worked. It's just lean and mean and methodical. And then Elle Fanning. So if you don't know, the world of the Predator exists in the same universe as the Alien stuff. And so Weyland Yutani, that corporation, and their androids that they create are in the Predator universe. So Elle Fanning plays she plays two characters. She plays these sort of twin androids, and she was really good. It just I don't know, man. It just did its thing. It was lean, like I said. There was no fat on it. It was just easy to digest. I don't know why. I guess I'm hungry. I'm having food metaphors here. It was well seasoned, No, yeah. But so when you asked a second ago, you said, would you like it? I think a lot of its charm won't work on you. I think you might appreciate some aspects about the kind of movie that it is. I think it's a good version of the kind of movie that it is. So I think you
Hmm.
could appreciate it on that level. I think you probably be like, who cares? Because the set pieces are him. It's a real person playing the predator, but he's got like a CG face or whatever, and he's fighting
Yeah.
CG monsters. So you're gonna probably check out on that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, you know, um, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it. Versus the thing I do recommend, and I did recommend, and I will re-recommend.
Yes.
Speaking of the Alien universe, is Alien Earth, the Noah Hawley project
Oh
on
yeah.
on FX, I think, or Hulu. That was very,
Yes.
very, very good, and that is a thing that I think you would get into because it's doing a different thing with the alien stuff. It's really character studies kind of stuff, so very more grounded. It's not about the action. It's not about the xenomorph. It's about the people.
Right.
It's about the robotic and the human people and those in between. But I was gonna mention something else I saw that was great. But um, but anyway, yeah, that was Predators was pretty good. Predator Badlands. I did see a lot of stinkers this year, though. Speaking of Julia Roberts, um, what was the other movie she did earlier this year? Oh God, with oh God, trying to remember people's names. Uh, uh, oh, I'm thinking of Black Bag, which Julia Roberts is not in.
Oh, yeah.
But that's a movie. I would like to know what you think of that movie
Okay.
because it has all the trappings of being a really good movie, but I don't think it's very interesting. And it's another movie where I didn't get much out of it. So it might
Yeah.
be a movie where like it's more your speed of like because it's sort of a spy thriller, but I didn't, but it doesn't quite do what I want from a spy thriller. But it
Yeah.
might be the kind of thing that you like because it's doing it the genre thing a little differently.
In a weird way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I can
Yeah.
totally get into that. Um uh yeah, I saw someone sell Challengers as like a thriller with no thrills.
That's just too quippy by half. Yeah.
Which I kind of see.
Yeah.
Oh, the other thing I was gonna say about your
No frills,
predator
no thrills.
exact hey. It about your predator thing is there's this movie that came out like semi recently called In a Violent Nature that's like
Hmm.
this like it's like a slasher movie, but the gimmick is that you follow the killer the whole time.
I've heard about that. Okay. Okay.
And so I think it's an interesting idea on paper.
Yeah.
I watched 5 minutes of it and I just couldn't deal with it. I was completely bored. I'm like, okay, we're
Yeah.
just walking around in the woods. Like
That's the
what
problem. That's I
why?
can already tell if it's a slasher. I mean, there's not much a slasher's doing besides stalking and killing, and
Yep.
so how interesting is that? And I'm reading the description, and they say he's a mute killer, which is
Yeah.
just a
Yeah.
contrivance for why he's not going to be talking from his
Yep.
perspective. So I can see that not really working out.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch the whole thing to be fair. I just couldn't. I was just like, this isn't working for me. I can't sit through an hour and a half of this. Like,
Yeah.
it's rare that I give up on a movie, but I just had to. But since we're talking about horror, for those of you out there, I think you know who you are. I think you, Claude, are not one of them, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Um, the Terrifier series. One is great. Two is all time one of my favorite. I love it. I love it so deeply. I can't even tell you how much I love part
Mm.
two. Three, it has its moments. I didn't like it as much as two.
Okay. Okay.
It's worth a watch. But as far as a horror franchise that's new, that's not a remake of an old thing,
Yeah.
it's at the top of the list. They're doing stuff in there that's just like, unbelievably interesting to me. The
Mm.
hard sell for that movie is it's way over the top in terms of the violence. I mean, just beyond, you know, it's almost like Kill Bill, but like more so.
Mm.
If that gives you an idea. It's got that like almost cartoonish quality,
Yeah.
to the violence where it's like, but it is still so extreme that I just feel like most people will be put off by that. But like
Yeah.
the performance of the main villain is great. There's a final girl character that comes in part two who's like probably one of the best versions of that I've ever seen in my life.
Okay.
And there's lore. There's like weird ass lore that I totally get into, which is totally
Okay.
unnecessary, and that's part of what I like about it.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so like, like I said, be warned. Like, if you're not in for some really extreme violence, don't watch it. But
Like more than Saw.
yeah, well, especially Saw One, because Saw One doesn't even have that much. But if you're talking like the later Saw movies,
Mm-hmm.
it's more on par with that. But I would say, yeah, more than that.
Okay. Okay.
It's it's up there. It's probably not the most violent movies ever made because there's probably some stuff that's like more extreme than that. And like I said,
Yeah.
there is this cartoonish quality where it's like it doesn't quite feel real, and I think that helps like make it less unpleasant to sit through, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um but yeah, like some people are going to be put off by that, and I think you know who you are if you are up for this. But if you are, I really think you're in for a treat because man,
Hmm.
I am shocked by how much I love those movies.
Wow. Okay.
So so yeah, full on recommend for you, Claude. I don't know how much you'd like it really, but because yeah, like your appetite for horror is just limited
Mm-hmm.
in general, you know. And
Yeah.
I'm a big horror fan, so I feel like they're starting off on the right foot with me and on the wrong foot with you. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and
Well, the thing
so
is,
yeah,
I do like horror a lot. It just has to be a particular kind of movie for me to really get into it. It's got to be doing like the stuff that's interesting to you about it. I probably would be interested in it, but it's like, can you sit through
yeah,
the other stuff?
exactly.
Uh,
I think for you, like it would be part two. Like I think if you could possibly like any of the three, it would be part two.
yeah.
Because I like part one is like really like spare in terms of the story. It has very
Mm-hmm.
little to no story. But part two like opens up the world and creates this mythology, and there's like surreal sequences, and like it's an epic.
Okay.
It's like 2.5 hours long, and it's a slasher movie. It's crazy.
Hmm.
To me it's a marvel of modern cinema that that thing got made and like found an audience, and there's supposed to be a part four still, and like I'm totally there for that. I think part three was a step back, unfortunately, but it wasn't bad. It just part two was so exciting. It was really hard to outdo.
Gotcha.
So yeah,
Okay.
I feel like I must put that in because that's something from these like recent times that I've really enjoyed. It is
Mm-hmm.
certainly not elevated drama like After the Hunt and Challengers in May and December, but
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's it's definitely like a trashy movie. But I think for what it's doing, just like you're saying about Predator, like for
Yeah.
what it's doing, is doing like a great version of that.
Yeah. Which is not nothing. Like I
It is
really like
really not
movies
nothing.
that can pull that off.
And when I was a kid, I really liked Predator, like the original one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, maybe if I can like tap into the kid part of myself that enjoyed that, like maybe somehow I could
Yes.
get on board.
And that is my superpowers. I can become a 14-year-old in a movie theater. That's almost always what I want in a way is at least half the time is what I want is to just feel like I'm 14 again and be wowed by something, on the big screen. That's what Kill Bill did. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when you see something, for the first time, you're like, wow, I didn't know a movie could do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
My when I saw Pulp Fiction in theaters, I guess this gives away my age. Sorry, y'all. I was basically
oh,
14,
yeah.
and it was like a surreal experience for me. And I think it like strangely like that's the thing I'm chasing,
Mm-hmm.
you know? Because like I liked other movies before that, and like I liked like Speed
Yeah.
and like The Crow, you know, action movies. Like I
Mm-hmm.
was into that stuff back then, but like Pulp Fiction showed me that like there were other things you could do that were really exciting in movies. And
Yeah.
I think that like took over my brain, and it like it had enough like excitement that I was able to be into it. It was kind of a bridge like movie for me
Yeah.
into more cerebral dramas that that I eventually grew to appreciate more. But yeah, I feel like maybe that's the difference. Like the 14-year-old me is wanting that, and the 14-year-old you is wanting the other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Um,
still a 14-year-old.
It's still a 14-year-old. Yeah, we refuse to grow up.
Yeah, because like you get so excited about that stuff in the moment, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And it's just very hard. Like I was just kind of looking at the list of horror movies this year, specifically horror movies, and I actually seen a lot of them. 28 Years Later. Uh, I saw Opus. The Monkey. Uh, was whatchamacallit this year? Or was
Oh, I
that
saw
last year?
Frankenstein. I thought it was very okay.
Frankenstein. I liked it. I thought it was, Del Toro is he's a talented director who doesn't make stuff for me.
Yes,
Uh,
I agree. I'm a Del Toro skeptic. I think like yes, I think he's good at what he does. It's just yeah, it's just not my thing. Like Spielberg,
yeah,
you know? I feel like he's
yeah,
great at what he does. I just don't particularly like it.
yeah. Let me see what else. Predator, of course. I was trying to think. Was the what's his name? Osgood Perkins movie. Was that this year or last year?
Long Legs? I think that was
Yeah.
last year.
Okay, that was last year. That's what I thought.
I have to look up to be sure. So was Heretic, by the way, which also was pretty good. I'll recommend that in
Okay.
passing.
Uh,
You saw it
oh,
too. You saw it too.
yeah. I think what else was on the list that I saw. Weapon, you know. None of these like really, I mean, The Long Walk they're putting as a horror movie. I guess it's more of a thriller to me. But
Yeah.
dystopian horror they're calling it. I'll buy that. Okay. The Gorge, survival action. Okay. Trying to see. I mean, obviously, Sinners was the best horror movie I've seen this year.
Ah, right, right. Yeah,
Um,
I to me it is horror though. I can't argue that it's not horror. I'm not gonna try to. It's just not
yeah,
my favorite kind of horror, I guess is what I would say.
yeah. Oh, him, sports horror. Which, like,
Ah,
how many of those are there? Um, but anyway, my point was, Final Destination: Bloodlines, and I even was bored enough to go see Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
two. Oh my God. I was wondering how they're gonna do that title. Five Nights at
Yeah,
Freddy's 2. All right.
yeah. Which is not 10 Nights at Freddy's,
No?
'cause that's too many nights. Um, uh, Five Nights at Freddy's 2 wasn't. It started off strong, actually. I actually was like really into how it started, and then it kind of just devolved into really being really boring.
hmm
Final Destination Bloodlines was actually pretty good. That might be my second favorite horror movie of the year that I saw. Because I
Okay.
actually rewatched all the Final Destination movies, and I was like, wow, one is really the best. The couple of the other ones have their moments, but actually, Bloodlines was like I was again. It was just like Predator Badlands, where it knew what it was trying to do, and it just did it well, and it gave you exactly what you wanted, and it was lean and mean, and got in and got out.
Yeah. I I could never get into Final Destination. There's something about the concept that's like off-putting to me.
Mm.
Uh, but a lot of people were talking about the new one, so I was vaguely curious, but then I forgot, so I never actually watched
Yeah,
it.
it's like what you were kind of hitting at with Sinners. I think it's like you don't watch it. To me, it's not like a horror first. It's a sort of it's almost sci-fi in a way, where obviously it's a
Yeah.
fantasy thing, but it's about the, what do they call it? Kind of the Rube Goldberg thing, right? It's about the fun of those movies is about the way the villain executes the plan. But it's also part murder mystery, that part of your brain with a murder mystery where you're trying to figure out what's happening and how it's going to happen. And you know what I mean? And so it's scratching other itches besides it being about the horror. Like it just happens to be horror because the thing is killing people. But you
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but but the mechanics of it, to me, the engine of the story and what's interesting is the same way of like it'd be like if you're watching Freddy movies because the dream killing is interesting to you or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
how is he going to show up this time? You know, or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's more like that. But yeah, horror stuff, man. And even 28 years later, I was like, I'm not gonna skip that. And they're making another one. I'm like, okay, guys, fine. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Eddington, I want to recommend that. If you haven't
Eddington.
checked that out, it's a weird ass movie. I'm not
And
sure
that's
it.
another movie. Sorry, that's another one I was going to say that you recommended. I think it's
Yep,
in a similar vein with these
it
other movies you
is. I
recommended.
got a wheelhouse.
But it ends in a non-finite way as
Yep.
well, sort of. But to me, it works. It works. I didn't like watch it and go, well, what was the point of that? Like I was like, oh, I actually got something out of this. I could rewatch it and get something more out of it. So
Yeah.
it's a delicate balance, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure,
that's the
sure.
version that works
Personal.
for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's good. That's good. Yeah. I think it, I don't know, flew under the radar a little bit. So yeah, I just want to promote it a little bit. Um I will say, in the vein of Final Destination, an old movie that I watched more recently was Urban Legend. Um,
Okay.
and I just want to recommend it because I loved it. It's ridiculous, but it's fun for me. I would put Urban Legend in this category, so I'll just say this is a kind of thing I like. So there's a lot of kinds of horror out there. One kind of horror that I like is the horror mystery. And
Yes.
That's what Urban Legend is, and that's also, I feel, the engine of the Saw series. That's
Yeah.
why, like, I was able to sit through like 8 of those, because
Yeah.
like it's got this like layered, like serialized plot that is so complicated, it's ridiculous. It's in that the vein of, like, Dark. It's not that complicated, but still, like, for a horror
Yeah.
franchise, it's shockingly hard to follow what's going on. And I enjoy that. I enjoy the sort of uncertainty of everything, and like, and you're following. There's always like a procedural thing, and it's really just the traps that bore me. Which, like, I'm the worst kind of fan, right? I'm the guy who watches Walking Dead and doesn't want zombies, and I watch Saw and I don't want traps. It's like I
Mm-hmm.
want the stuff that, like, no one cares about but me.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like, yeah, you watch for the traps. That's the point, right? You watch for the zombies. That's why we're here. And I'm like, could you not, though? What if we don't?
What if we don't? Yeah. Yeah. Wait, what movie were we talking about? It's like that.
Oh, Urban Legend or
Oh, Urban
Saw?
Legend. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I know what you did last summer, right?
Oh, yes. I know
Um,
I did last summer. Absolutely,
yeah.
that counts in that. Yeah, yeah,
I'm a big fan of the horror mystery, which
yeah,
puts it back in that just a thriller kind of vibe. What's
yeah, yeah.
happening?
Or like
Oh, speaking of that,
Giallo kind of thing.
speaking of old movies to rewatch horror wise, I told you I recently saw Seven in the theaters.
Oh,
And that was a really great experience. That was super fun to rewatch and just
I haven't seen
nice,
that in a long time.
methodical, dark and gritty. And it's just a detective story that you just don't see, and it's just two guys
Yeah.
trying to solve a case. And like
Yep.
there's nothing like the murders are interesting, but there's nothing like crazy happening. It's not over the top. Like it's very
Hmm.
subdued, and you just get to this small ending. It's just such a specific kind of movie.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, no, I that was one of my favorites in the 90s.
Yeah. Fincher, man, I don't know what he's up to these days, but
Yeah, good question.
he had his run, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it was a big run. Speaking of people having their runs, another one I'll throw out there is this movie from 2017 called First Reformed.
Okay.
Um, it's like it's like a pre preacher, pastor. I don't know what the right word is. Deacon. I don't know. It's a religious, like, drama. I am into that, by the way. that's part of why I enjoyed the latest Knives Out, probably more than the other two.
Yeah.
It's like give me a high school, give me a college, give me a
Or
church.
give me a church, like give me an institution.
I'm there. I'm so there. Yeah, I don't know. There's something about that environment that's like really great for drama as far as I'm concerned. And I just
Yeah.
get totally pulled in. And so yeah, this is Paul Schrader. Apparently Paul Schrader's entire career is rewriting Taxi Driver. It feels like he hasn't really I've seen several of his movies and they're all just like variations on that story,
He had
including
one
First
thing.
Reformed. Yeah, he's got one thing, and he just keeps like spinning
Yeah.
around like variations on that idea. It's like first person narration. It's like a troubled like sort of
Mm-hmm.
character on the edge, like making like questionable decisions, and yeah, it's this like ambiguous character piece. It's really interesting. I enjoyed it a lot, but I also like Taxi Driver, so if you like that movie, you might like it again in the form of church movie. um
Okay.
but I think it's like I don't know, it's like hovering around like ethical issues. I like when movies like touch on things but don't necessarily say anything concrete about them, because
That's my least favorite thing.
it makes me think about them, and
Yeah.
but it's not telling me what to think about them.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think I have an appetite for that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll mention that for any of you who haven't seen that one yet. Because yeah, it was pretty good.
Nice.
Um, oh, and then I think for my final recommendation, no one's going to be expecting this, but I'm just going to go ahead and recommend
Mm.
Gilmore Girls. Um,
What?
if you, yeah, how many Terrifier Gilmore Girls fans are there out there? It's I want to know. Um, uh, if you watch Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, it's like the same team. It's got very much the same vibe. It's got a lot of the same character types. It's got a lot of the same actors. Um,
Okay.
uh, it's obviously the basic premise of the show is not the same. It is set in modern times, et cetera, et cetera. But if you liked that show, I think this is actually even better. And it's just got a great vibe, and it's like a mellowed out Twin Peaks, small town quirkiness kind of thing. Um, I
Mm-hmm.
love the characters. It's a place I just want to be. I look forward to it coming on, and when it
Mm-hmm.
comes on, I'm just enthralled and happy the entire time. So anyway, I can't recommend it enough. I've enjoyed it
Wow.
way more than I ever thought I would. So
That's good,
uh,
man.
full
Yeah, listen,
recommendation for that.
it's something special. Particularly, listen, movies are great, but when you can find a TV show that you really love and that feels like home, like when you're
Yeah,
that's what Star Trek's like to me. Like I want to go to there. Like I need to
yeah,
be on the promenade of Deep Space Nine. I want to be walking the halls of the Enterprise. Like
yeah,
I want to hang out. Like you want to hang out with those people.
totally.
And most TV shows don't give you that. Even if they're interesting or good, you don't necessarily want to be there or hang out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly. It's a very hangouty kind of thing. And so yeah, if you get into it, it is like the best version of that thing I think that like I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I haven't seen the whole show, and we're in season 3, so who knows? Maybe it gets bad later. I've heard intimations that the later seasons aren't as good, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But it's been great so far. So yeah, I totally agree about the TV thing. It's I feel the same way about Star Trek. I mean, when we watched Deep Space Nine, like it was such a great journey to go through all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. And of course I love the Bajoran politics because I love institutions. Apparently,
You do literally love
that's my
institutions. You
go-to
love the
thing.
the intrigue of institutions.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. They're, yeah, strange machinations that they sort of impose on people, or that people try to impose on them.
Mm-hmm.
Like those dynamics are, yeah, very interesting to me. I mean, it's just such a human created thing, you know, of course, or Bajoran created or whatever, you know. Like it's like we make these things and then we have these like rules now that we have to like abide by, and like
Yeah.
maybe we're cool with that or not, or maybe we try to get around it, or maybe we want to change it, or you know, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
ways you can go with that.
Mm-hmm. I got you. Yeah, now that you have the structure, and now you can determine, do you want to go with it, against
Yeah.
it, pretend you're with it, but you're actually against it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah, yeah. And I feel like you can see a lot of those things. Um, you can see a lot of those things playing out in the
I feel
various
like you should watch
versions.
West Wing. I feel like you. I feel like if you haven't seen West Wing, I think you probably would like it. Then it's
You know, I
Institution.
watched like, yeah, no, you're right. I'm an Aaron Sorkin fan too. So
Yep.
I've watched I about half or two-thirds of season one.
Okay. Okay.
And for whatever reason stalled out at that point. It wasn't that I didn't like it. I don't know. It just for some reason we stopped watching it and then uh never went back. I don't know.
Mm,
I'm definitely not against watching it. It was a fun show. I like we did watch Studio 60
yeah.
on Sunset Strip, which was really good. And I totally missed when it was on originally.
Yeah. I told you
And
about
you
it.
know, you did. I remember when you told me about it. And it's got that vibe, you know, the walk and talk, the
The
bit
walk and
bap. Like
talk.
I
Yeah.
like it. I
They're
like
bipping and
it.
they're bapping.
I totally get into that. Like
Yeah.
it's there's something very engaging about that style.
I was going to say for final recommendations. So one thing I'll say, I haven't finished the season yet. The season finale just happened, and I think I'm a couple episodes behind. But the TV show based on it called Welcome to Derry
Oh
has
yeah, right.
been pretty interesting. It's doing some stuff I like. It's bold in the choices it's been making. And so far so good. It's not like blowing me away, but it's and I didn't see the It movies, the new ones. Um, but it's just way more interesting than I thought it was going to be. It's a little bit. It's got a Stranger Things vibe to it because it's about kids at the center of a supernatural horror, and set in the past.
Right.
But and I guess vice right. You're probably wanting to say Stranger Things is like it, but
Indeed.
but yeah, but I would recommend. So far, I think I would recommend it. And like the horror stuff that they do, the set pieces and the real scary stuff and the monster, like actually some interesting stuff. I'm like, because you know how it is when you've seen the same effects over and over and over. You famously hate the wide mouth villain effect, where
Yep.
their mouth just gets big and we're supposed to be
Yep.
scared.
Sure
But
do.
yeah, this just a lot of the just effects of the horror sequences are very interesting, and there's some there's a point at which I get sorry. There's a point at which uh it's called into question what's actually happening. So when the kids are experiencing these horror moments because Pennywise is tormenting them, it's like, is this in their mind, or are they dreaming like Freddy Krueger, or is it actually altering reality? But only the kids can see, or could other adults see it, but they just don't see it in time? Because I actually thought I knew what was happening, but until a few episodes go by, and I'm like, oh, I actually don't know which one it is. Like, is it obviously it is some sort of Pennywise is like has psychic powers, and
Yeah.
just to entice you a bit, because this would have enticed the hell out of me. Dick Halloran is a character in the show,
Ah,
so
yes.
yeah, I'm like this,
In the book
dope.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there you go. I mean, but I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I'll watch this because I know that guy from The Shining. I
Yeah,
know
yeah,
what he's
yeah.
I know where he's going to end up. So now you're going to tell me about him at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's really interesting.
Stephen King loves that. The like, yeah,
Yeah,
crossing over
yeah.
characters.
That and I love a good crossover, and so that part is hooking me too. Again, same with my thing with Predators, like it's a crossover with the alien stuff and the Blade Runner stuff. But yeah, I'm going on a recommend with that. Like I said, I didn't see the finale yet, but it was
Okay.
I was pleasantly surprised that it was very interesting and the kind of story that they're telling. And
Well,
one more thing. Oh, go ahead.
just a couple things about that. Number one, absolutely love the book. It's my favorite Stephen King book by far. The TV series version with Tim Curry has its flaws, but Tim Curry's not one of them. Um, the the movies, the recent ones that show is spinning off from, the first one was okay. The second one I hated with a passion, and it left such a
Mm.
bad taste in my mouth that when I saw that and it was in the same like world with from the same people, I was just like, nah, fuck that. I can't. I don't want to watch
Wow.
anything they touch. They have
Wow.
destroyed one of my favorite stories. And so anyway, that was I was like so not, if you say that it's actually good, then I'm willing to give it a chance because I inherently like the story and the world. So I want to
Yeah.
like it. I
Yeah.
just, part two, oh my God, did they ruin it? Oh,
Wow. Well, now I
I,
have to watch it so I can see because hate is a very strong word.
I really did hate it. Of course, it's partially
Wow.
personal because, I have such a deep attachment to that story. So, like, I think I take it harder than I would if it was just a movie,
Yeah.
that showed up. And then I'd probably be like, that was mediocre and move on with my life. But like I do think it was significantly worse than the first one, which also
Wow. Okay.
like I think the first one is overrated. Like a lot of people seem to like it, and I thought it was okay at best.
Yeah.
But yeah, part two definitely. I mean, it just completely it completely
Wow.
failed to do justice to the end of that story, in my opinion. So yeah,
Okay.
very I was so skeptical, but I'm not, things can happen. It's, time has passed, and it's possible that for a TV audience and what they're doing, like maybe this take on it will
Mm-hmm.
work better for me. um, but yeah, I wasn't over the moon with Bill Skarsgård. I think he's fine, but
Okay.
I think that Tim Curry version is
So
so good that you can read the book with his voice in mind and it works.
yeah. I one thing I'll say is that this is a little bit of a spoiler, but not a big deal. Is that so far, I'm at least halfway through the season, if not one or two episodes from the end. Pennywise is just he's not obviously the main character, so he's in the
Right.
periphery doing stuff, and I think that's what is helping because it's not Penny. It's not a
Yeah.
lot about him right now. It's about just
Yeah.
what's happening with these characters trying to figure out a supernatural mystery they're not prepared for, which is one of my favorite premises.
Yeah. Totally.
So yeah,
Totally. And I actually think that's how he should be. That's how he is in the book. Most of the time in the book is not with
yeah,
Pennywise. That, you keep the mystery and the horror going by keeping the character off screen. Like if the
yeah.
character's on screen too much, it becomes familiar and like you can't, it's
Jeepers
not really
Creepers.
frightening. Yeah, exactly. Jeepers Creepers, the later Friday Nightmare on Elm Street movies like had this like,
Yeah.
he's just doing a vaudeville routine, and it's like that's not scary. It's entertaining in a weird way, but like
Yeah.
frightened I
Well,
am not.
at a certain point, at a certain point, you're there to see Freddy, and you
Yeah,
want, and they leaned into it in a way that took away
so
from the
hard.
original reason, that you like it. But
Yeah, yeah.
um,
And I can appreciate that on a like sort of campy level, I guess.
yeah,
But like in terms of like, I feel like it has potential to be a good horror story, and I think you don't want the clown on screen too much to keep it that way.
yeah. That's what Tarantino said about Paul Dano.
Sick burn. Wow, looping it back. Look at that.
Looping it back. Listen, you don't podcast for 80 years without learning a trick or two, ladies and
Oh my
gentlemen.
God, you still got it.
I still got
After
it. Look
this
at
long
that.
hiatus. I'm
These
so
old
impressed.
bones still got it. Well, listen, we got to end it there because I won't be able to top that.
I agree. That is a perfect place.
Yep. Well, listen, thanks again, everybody, for all the memories. We'll be making new memories once we all walk through these church doors and go to the new
not
place.
requiring everybody, it might be a bit more sparse or like situational when we come out with something, but it'll happen eventually and just, keep an eye out for it. But until then, yeah, we'll see you in that light.
Yeah, and if you got any recommendations out there, please send it to us. We'll talk about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, some of those have been great. So yeah, keep them coming.
All right, until next time. Thanks.
All right. Bye everybody.